Did you know the New York Times is the largest paywalled news website with nearly 10 million digital subscribers? It leads the pack by a mile.
This makes them all the more likely to face challenges with the advent of large language models, or LLMs, potentially trained on their content.
Well, in December 2023, the New York Times filed a lawsuit against OpenAI and Microsoft over AI use of copyrighted work.
This lawsuit is going to be one of the most consequential lawsuits to impact the tech industry in over a decade, setting the stage for how AI companies will be able to train, attribute, and use media data.
So in this video, we're going to break it down and cover how the New York Times rose to the top, how they make money, the OpenAI lawsuits, and OpenAI's response.
And if you stick around, we'll cover how this will redefine the rules of engagement between AI companies and media organizations.
So stay tuned.
I'm Stephanie, AI product leader and creator.
And I'm Bertrand, founder of App Economy Insights. The New York Times reigns supreme in the global digital media landscape, and they did this in three ways. First, they strategically shifted from advertising to a subscription-based business. They implemented a metered paywall in 2011, which was a bold move that paid dividends.
Secondly, unlike other clickbait media companies, they stayed dedicated to quality news, earning the trust and wallets of readers worldwide. And third, they built a multi-product strategy, a diversified digital-only subscription portfolio including news, sports, cooking, games, and product reviews.
The Times' lead in digital subscribers is substantial, with a pretty big gap to its closest competitor, The Wall Street Journal.
The Times made some good moves to keep growing. Like in 2022, they acquired The Athletic for $550 million, which replaced its sports department and brought 1.2 million subscribers at the time, which doubled the following year.
In Q4 2023, the Times counted 10.4 million total subscribers, including digital and print. Digital-only subscribers were at 9.7 million, which was a 10% growth year over year. Digital-only average revenue per user, or ARPU for short, was $9.24, good for a 4% growth year over year.
Revenue has three main components. Subscription is roughly 2/3 of overall revenue. Digital subscriptions make up the majority and are growing. Meanwhile, print is slowly declining. Advertising is roughly 25% of overall revenue. And then the other category includes licensing, Wirecutter, affiliate referrals, commercial printing, leasing, live events, and more.
The gross margin has been around 50% in the past 3 years. The operating margin has been over 10% for most of the past decade.
So what to make of all of this? The New York Times' successful shift to subscription-founded journalism is clear, given its digital growth.
But print remains resilient, hinting at the persistent nature of consumer habits. The company's foray into several digital-only products shows that diversifying beyond traditional news was key to surviving in the digital age.
And ongoing investments in product development and technology highlight their dedication to ensuring long-term growth. Okay, now let's get to the juicy part. The Times' lawsuit against OpenAI and Microsoft. It's not just about the use of copyrighted material, it's also about the future of content creation and distribution.
But before we get into the Times versus OpenAI lawsuit, we have one request. Please subscribe and like this video.
It may not seem like much, but it really helps our videos be discovered, and it's how we keep bringing you more tech, investing, and career content.
So the crux of the OpenAI lawsuit is twofold. It challenges the use of copyrighted material to train AI models and the capacity of these models to generate outputs that closely mimic original copyrighted works.
The Times' legal argument hinges on the premise that while AI models may consume copyrighted content, the input, it's the generation of identical or near identical content, the output, that constitutes infringement.
Drawing parallels to previous cases like Google Books, OpenAI could argue for transformative use of the content. But the Times points out specific instances where outputs directly competed with their services.
The lawsuit also addresses instances where AI hallucinates or generates incorrect information, potentially damaging the Times' reputation for reliable information.
So what are the implications here for AI and journalism? This lawsuit could set a precedent on how AI companies use copyrighted content to train their models, impacting the entire AI and tech industry.
Determining who is responsible when AI outputs infringing content is complex. Is it the AI developer, the platform hosting it, or the user prompting the output?
The outcome could influence how AI and content creators balance the need for innovation with the protection of intellectual property rights.
OpenAI was taken aback by the lawsuit, first hearing about it through the very source of the dispute, a New York Times article. OpenAI argues that their use of the news content for training is fair use, but they still offer an opt-out as a goodwill gesture. The company admits to occasional regurgitation of content, but labels it a rare bug that they're aggressively squashing.
So we'll be watching a few things moving forward. First, how the court interprets the fair use doctrine in this context. It will be critical. It will consider factors such as the purpose of AI's use, the nature of copyrighted work, and the effect on the potential market. And, of course, precedent-setting decisions. Any ruling will be scrutinized for its potential to become a benchmark for future cases involving AI and copyright.
So what's next? Well, this lawsuit underscores the challenges at the intersection of emerging technologies and established legal frameworks. The outcome will likely ripple through the media, tech, and legal landscapes, potentially redefining what constitutes fair use in the age of AI-driven content creation.
And now, more are lining up for generative AI's legal labyrinth. From John Grisham to George R.R. Martin, authors are lining up for their own copyright claims against AI-generated content.
And companies like Getty Images and Stability AI are wrestling over similar issues in courtrooms. Microsoft, GitHub, and OpenAI are entangled in lawsuits over training methodologies for coding.
The legal battles are just heating up, and we've got 7 predictions on the state of the AI industry, from multimodality to cybersecurity. Everything is changing. If you want to keep up, check out our next video.